Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer from Trillium. Wow, Congress Street comes down here. No can date. Interesting, but I assume it's very fresh. Yeah, whenever this drops in Orlando, it just like flies. So it must have just recently came. What do we have to say about this beer? If you guys skip ahead to the review, please do. First off, this can was dumb expensive. I want to say it was $8 plus tax. By the way, the channel does not pay for that. I do not generate enough revenue to be generating $8 per can, but it's all right. It's been a stressful week, so like, why not treat yourself? Trillium, wow. I also just want to pick up, like, if you guys don't care, it's for my nostalgia's sake. I remember going to the brewery, the original brewery, by the way. It's literally like probably the bar, and then two widths of this left, and that's it. And I would argue the capacity in that space was probably like 20, and it's tight. I went to Trillium. I think it had to be like 2014, 2013, 2014. I went to Trillium when Trillium wasn't cool enough to bring to a bottle share. That makes any sense. Like, that's how like they were open. I must have visited them when they were open for like 6 months or something. Like very, very new brewery. And now look what they've become. Like one of the kings of hazy IPA. Congress Street's their flagship IPA. I didn't remember this. This is a Galaxy-based beer. So it's Galaxy and then Columbus. Columbus mostly for bittering, and then obviously it's actually secretly is one of those like secret hops that is a huge tertiary hop that offers a lot of complexity. And yeah, from what I understand, like it's secretly one of those hops that's like very important to a lot of brewers. So let's dig in the beer. What's in there? No clue what that is. A little schmutz. Looks beautiful. Look at that. I mean, that's a nice, beautiful, light gold color, medium plus haze. Doesn't look all like milky or anything. Just a beautiful haze, and then definitely centrifuge. Oh, yeah, they have centrifuge, and like you definitely see the shadow of my finger in the light. Just really good looking hazy IPA. Very pale color too. Wonderful, slightly off white head. Oh, that smells good. That smells very good. Wow. Okay. Geez, I'm getting like yuzu, lemon, clementine, like a lot of citrus, a lot of quite yellowy fruits to it, but also melon, big juicy cantaloupe flavors, some stone fruit, light pale, so like almost like peach is more ripe. I want to call it like white peach and like pluot. Very nice. Very, very, very good nose. Wow, I'm shocked. Last time I had this was like, I want to say it was like 3 years ago when I was with the Grand Delancey, and I didn't really like it. So yeah, cheers.
And then also these are
yeah, see, that's sort of what it tasted. It's all right. 7.2%. So the palate, it's very green. Not very, very green, but that's a noticeable predominant note. Up front, it's just like green, grassy, get a little bit of that fluffy mouthfeel, some of that kind of pale oat wheat thing. See, it doesn't follow the nose. It also has that kind of like, I associate it with Citra. Citra, I think, has a heavy amount of like geraniol, but in general, these hops too. It has this little bit of this kind of like potpourri water, kind of just like air fresh, like, you know, imagine if air freshener could be drinkable. It just has this floral drinkability, floral element to it. A little bit of harshness on back end, a little bit of this kind of like, a little bit of chalkiness, but then that green vegetable edge. And it's not like insanely bad, but it does tend to dominate the palate. On the palate, you do get a little bit of like fruity sweetness, but the beer is a little dry. It's actually quite dry. It has a little bit of balanced bitterness for a hazy IPA, but the noticeable thing, yeah, is the green vegetable character and the dryness of this beer. This beer doesn't really have much, like, I don't taste much residual sweetness to help boost those aromatic, fruity hop compounds, right? If you have a little sweet, like, so much important character to fruit is just there's some amount of sugar in there. That's why we like fruit, right? This tends to lack it because it tends to dominate with that kind of green vegetable thing. And it's a little bit dry, and it's a little bit bitter. So you're really just like pulling away all the fun hop aromatics I'm getting, those flavor compounds that aren't really translating to the palate too well because of how dry this beer is. Both in either residual sweetness and a domination of that kind of like green vegetable flavor. I've had way worse examples. I'd argue this is what a lot of people are looking for these days. They just want to drink grass water. But this is one of the more like drinkable ones. Like I'll probably finish this, which is like a huge compliment. You guys don't even know how many of the hazy IPAs I end up pouring it down the drain. So this is like drinkable, but like I would have never guessed like boom, like you know, if you had to name the top 3 hazy breweries in the world, or you know, yeah, let's say the world, a good portion would put Trillium on there, if not top 5. Like you know, it's hard world to imagine listing you know hazy breweries and not have them in top 3, top 5, maybe top 10 at worst. And you argue Pioneers are easily a top 3, top 5 as well, right? Just really early into the game on it. But yeah, Wolf, that's a little bit rough. I guess it confirms what I thought about this beer a few years ago. I guess I'm gonna try to skip these Trillium beers. This is really not worth it. I mean, $8 for this, oof. Like this is on par with like. It's definitely obviously better than like macro hazy IPA, like stuff on the shelf, Voodoo this and Sierra Nevada, whatever. But it's not too far off. And some of those are honestly more drinkable than this. But this is also, again, I argue those two are different styles, right? Like a hazy thing is different from like a boutique, other half, blah 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 kind of hazy IPA thing. But the beer is so dry, it almost comes off like that. It's actually sort of like an in-between. If I like blended hazy little thing and then like a really, really good hazy IPA, I feel like I get something like this. Not to put down hazy little thing, like, you know, whatever. Or cosmic little thing or whatever. One of those beers. It's really not that great. What a world we live in that Trillium Congress Street on Darwin's Beer Reviews gets an 84. You guys let me know. Does that make sense? Like what? Again, people always like worry about the ratings and all this crazy stuff. Like, don't worry about the ratings. Like, what do I say matters? So, like, do you think what I just said matters and translates to 84? Like, I'm gonna finish drinking it, which is still like a huge compliment to this beer, but it's quite like heavy on the just vegetal green dry thing. Even though it smelled really good. So, until next time, 84. Cheers later.